Everything seems to be working okay. I don't know if I need to. Stream status is great. I don't know why I bothered to start this early anymore. It seems like I know what I'm doing now. Though why is this um I don't know why my broadcast alerts are turned off. That's okay. And let's see, info and settings. This should be public. There it is, public. So this is good. I really don't think I need to start these early anymore. But I just like to make sure, and hey, if there's anybody watching, which I don't think there is yet, if there's anybody watching, you guys can enjoy watching me drink coffee. How's that? Here we go, open live chat, a new window. I got the chat open, no one's chatting, that's cool because I started this early. I'm not sure if that, I don't know. I'm not sure if that changes anything because I don't know, I'm still learning these things, guys. Yeah, Scissory, there you are. I got a viewer, holy cow, look at this. So it is working, this is great. This is like, I'm just excited because it took me forever to figure out this encoder, Wirecast. It took me forever, and I'm proud of me because I'm not technically smart, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm smart. I'm just not smart, if that makes sense. So, that's good, I guess. Um, let's see. Let me see if this is... Oh, and there I am. Yeah, I'm streaming. Okay. Well, hello, good morning, Zipperbag, Ira, Dylan. Thank you for joining. You guys are early. You're part of the early morning crew. You're you're like the you guys are like the you're like the crew that helps out. What's it called? I don't know. You guys are around. I'm still having coffee, and then we're gonna get this going. And I'm gonna try to not be too mad today, but today I'm gonna be talking about I'm not talking about the news today. I'm not talking about the news. I am so over the news. It's like I mean, I don't even know if I want to talk about the news anymore. Seriously, that's how over the news I am. Got my Christmas mug. But I'm so over the news. I just feel like I don't know who to trust. I don't know nothing. And I feel like the news leaves out so much. And I feel like I'm not even learning nothing from the news. And I trust nothing. So you know what I'm going to be talking about today? I'm going to be talking about how and why is it okay to fat shame. And why I feel like the fat acceptance movement is necessary. That's what's going to be today's topic. So if I've got like fat phobic people watching this, kindly click off. There's plenty of other videos you can watch right now talking about how fat people suck. Go watch one of those videos. This is not going to be one. Ooh, let me get the anger out now, because I don't want this to be an angry stream. But seriously, this is something that's been driving me nuts. Nuts. And actually, this is one of the reasons why I kind of want to quit the internet. I'm not kidding. If for some reason on the internet it's okay to be cruel and unnecessary, and it's so horrible. It just makes the internet a very negative place to be. It's really annoying to me. I just want to get off the internet, I swear. Let me see what the chat's saying. I always miss this. I work nights, and I randomly woke up. Well, you're here for a good one. But like I said, hopefully I'm going to try not to explode. I've missed the last few days. Finally made it back. I feel like the past few days my streams have been very annoying. And it's because I talk about the news, and you know what? The news is a joke. The news is a joke. I'm sick of... I had one agenda with Daily Justine. One agenda. let me get into this and then the stream will start. Good morning, Matt the Vegan, you're here. Yay. Alright, let me tell you guys about the one agenda that I had with Daily Justine. Because I did have an agenda, I'm not gonna lie. I sit here and I say, I make like no money doing this, I'm agendaless. It's not true. What my agenda is, I feel very strongly that we're I would be very surprised if we complete the year without some kind of financial or debt crisis. And what I've also noticed is I just feel like the media is perpetuating a lot of blame. Like like they're perpetuating like us blaming each other essentially, and it pisses me off because it actually we should be blaming the people in charge, meaning our government. But God forbid we do that. That's my one agenda, is I wanted to help demonstrate how it's nobody's fault. And actually, we can't even pin the blame on a particular party. Both the Democrats and Republicans over the decades have had their hand in this. And that's my one agenda. That's my one thing I wanted to do, but it's hard for me to fill 30 minutes of that daily. So I'm hoping I'm getting the point across. And as financial news comes out that's necessary for me to communicate, I will communicate. But sometimes there's other things that I think are necessary to for me to say. Maybe it's just for my own uh, mental health, I guess I can say. But there's I've been on the internet more often lately because, I've been doing this, I've been picking topics, I've been observing, and you know what? The internet is an infuriating place to be because for some reason on the internet, it's okay to act like cruel, to act like a middle school bully, basically. And it's so stupid because it's getting us nowhere. I'm gonna get into that today. I'm trying to get the anger out now. It's 10 a.m. So welcome to Daily Justine Live. I like to talk about whatever I want with this show. Usually the news. Though today I wanted to talk about the issue of fat acceptance and fat shaming. I feel like it's necessary because I see such unnecessariness on the internet, and it's I guess Nicole Arbor started it, or it seems like she started it because, or she took it viral. The whole um, fat shaming. But you know what? Let me start from the beginning here because let me define these terms. When I refer to um, okay, first let me define fat accept. What should I define first? What is fat shaming? What is it exactly? Let me quantify that right now so we know what I'm talking about because there's a lot of um semantics. I feel like people being like, "Oh, it's not this, it's not then, it's privilege isn't the word because blah blah blah." Let me define so we can move on. Um so what is fat shaming? What does it mean to shame? Well, if you look up the definition on Google like I did, the definition is basically as a verb, like to shame as used as a verb is to humiliate, basically to um yeah, it's basically to humiliate for whatever reason. When you look it up on Google, that's the first thing that comes up. To humiliate. And it's what's infuriating to me is the perpetrators of fat shaming think that they're doing fat people some friggin' favor by humiliating them into action, I guess. I don't know. So let's talk about what is fat acceptance. Fat acceptance is a natural response to this. Fat acceptance meaning, okay, you're shaming me. Who are you to shame me? I will not be shamed. That's fat acceptance. Is fat shamers want to shame you? Fat acceptance is you're not shaming me. Um, let me define. I'm gonna say use the term fat phobic. And when I say these things, I just hope you realize that it's just shorter way. It's just a shorter way of saying somebody that doesn't accept obesity because they believe that it's unhealthy or blah blah, whatever people want to say. So people that dislike fat people to the extent that they would make a 10-minute video talking about how wrong it is to be fat. That's a fat phobic person. So when I say fat phobia, fat phobic, that's what I'm talking about. People that deem it necessary to fat shame. That's what I mean. But someone who's so frightened by the idea of fat or of being fat or of a fat person that it would drive them to put out videos, to make content, to anything, putting down fat people, to humiliate fat people, to make them feel bad about being fat. Okay, so let me talk about why I think fat acceptance is important. It's because the reason why I feel like fat acceptance is a thing, or maybe the chicken became for the egg here, I don't know. But fat acceptance, to me, is a natural response to um, to to a society that deems it okay to shame them, because they'll feel like, well, who are you to shame me? Um, there's so much going on in the chat, and I'm gonna get to the chat. I agree, it was way before Nicole Arbor. Nicole Arbor took it viral, though. Um, Nicole Arbor took it viral, and I did. And trust me, I know it's been way before Nicole Arbor. I grew up very obese. I remember being obese when I was like 5 years old. So you don't need to tell me that it was before Nicole Arbor. Trust me, this is what I'm talking about. It's like um, it's kind of like a middle school mentality. Let's make fun of the fat girl, and then you've got and then you got people that don't want to grow out of that, that are viciously defending their right to do that, and then they're surprised when there's something like the fat acceptance movement that comes out of all this. You know, if you're gonna tell someone they should be ashamed because X, that person is gonna likely uh, respond. They're going to respond and they're going to say, nah, I'm not being ashamed. Who are you to shame me? And then, yeah, they're going to post something on the internet. They're going to post like their themselves wearing a bikini or whatever and being like, I don't care. Because they don't, why would they care? You're a nobody on the internet that they don't know. And you're making them, trying to make them feel ashamed for being fat. It's just something that I just don't understand why people don't drop this. You know, I haven't I'm not exactly big anymore, but I've grown up big, and this is a mentality that I've grown to believe is unnecessary, is hurtful. It's just people wanting to act like sixth graders, fifth graders, you know, and they don't want to grow out of it, and they don't want to be told that their behavior is a shameful one. They don't like being told that. You know, I don't know. This is um um. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by the chat. Well, I that is the thing. That I feel like the issue of this is the part I would love people to understand, is the issue of whether or not it's okay to shame a fat person is totally separate from the issue of can you be overweight and healthy. It's a completely different issue. That's like that you're not going to solve that question. Is it healthy to be, excuse me, is it healthy to be overweight You're not going to address that issue by shaming the fat person. Because if you're shaming the fat person, and who are you to shame, then the fat person is not going to, they're going to be mad. Like, who are you? As they should be. That I've gotten a lot of comments lately on the internet, and it's because for some reason I brought myself to a dark part of the internet, a video that was like 10 minutes of fat shaming, basically. For some reason, I found myself there, and I was being critical of the video. I was questioning the point of it, basically. And people were responding to me, calling me fat. And it's like, look, that you're not. Who are you? You're like a 13-year-old. Like, I don't even know who you are. Are you a doctor? Because my doctor told me to stop losing weight because he's worried I might accidentally lose muscle mass. So kiss my ass. Who the. I don't know. I just. It's something that baffles me as somebody that used to be fat and that I'm now on the other side. I'm still. And I made a video titled "Thin Privilege is Real," and I got so many comments about like people, once again, the semantics, like questioning my use of the word privilege. And it's like, look, it's just the quicker way of me saying um, being treated better simply because I've changed this one thing about my appearance. There's no question to me that thin people are treated better. There's no question. You're not going to convince me otherwise here, okay? I'm well aware. So I'm also well aware still of fat phobia. And that's not going to go away just because I'm taking it personally, because there's people that I know in my life, people I know personally that start like joking with me, start like making fat shaming jokes because they're assuming that I'd be cool with it now. Nope. It's never gonna happen. Alright, I'm going off point. There's an intense, passionate criticism of the fat acceptance movement. And I think that's why I'm making this whole video. It really is passionate. I underlined passionate. People really seem to give a shit about this. People really care that a fat woman posts a picture of herself in a bikini on Instagram. People really care. Why? Uh, why? And I have, you know what? Why don't they just look away? I posted a meme on Facebook not long ago that described the internet to me. It's, in real, so the meme was a comic. It was this guy walking down a path in the woods, and he comes across a pile of crap, literally crap, steaming, flies, everything. And he says, that's offensive. I'm going to walk around that. But on the internet, what we do is we take a look at that pile of crap that offends us and we roll around in it and talk about why we don't like it. Just don't look at it if it offends you somehow. You saw a picture of a fat woman in a bikini once, and that's justifying your 10-minute rant against fat acceptance? Why don't just look away? And I feel like the term fat phobic is appropriate here because it's coming from somewhere. There's a reason why. There's a reason for this fat phobia, and I wonder if it has to do with people are scared of being fat, and or they try to not be fat themselves, and they have a fear of being fat, and they like project it on the fat person for some reason. And in my opinion, that's their problem, not the fat person's problem. You know, people. Matt the Vegan made a point. He used to be very big too. Now he's slim. And he says people are going to hate you for no matter what reason. It's true. But it's always cool to hate on the fat person. Always. Fat will always... Fat, the descriptor, fat, will always for some reason it's an insult. And that's what fat acceptance is pushing against. It's pushing against um, you projecting your phobia of whatever onto me because I'm fat. Um, it just boils down to, who are you to shame the fat person? It's just ridiculous, because to me it has to do with, once again, like, I'll reiterate, people that project their fears of whatever onto the fat person. And I think it's very childish. Why don't you examine what really frightens you, examine what really bothers you, and I don't know, pay attention to that. Don't be like projecting your crap on the fat person. It's immature. It's immature. That's it. There's no way to put it other than that. It's immature. It's childish. And one day this person will grow up and realize, oh wait, I might have to be nice to my fat boss. You know, that might happen one day. You might have to realize that your opinions only exist on the internet. And that's something that in recent years I've really struggled with, because I've seen the internet go in a direction that's just not, that was not my direction. Because my direction was, I was working, I was trying to make customers happy, my bosses happy, real life. And then there's the internet life where that, and it doesn't jive. There's no real life in internet life. It doesn't make sense, because in real life there's no making fun of fat people like this. There's no cruelty like there is on the internet. There's no and I wonder if that, I don't know. I wonder if that bothers people, that shame. All right, 10:14. I'm gonna move to looking at the chat now, because there's a lot going on. I'm sorry, guys, you've been chatting. Um, uh, Ira says perhaps it's the fear of becoming fat is what they feed us since we were kids. Gaining weight is bad. Well, that's for sure. I remember being very young and on every diet ever. So I guess it's like a I don't know. You know what? I feel like I don't even want to sit here and justify it or explain it away anymore. It's just something that needs to be put down, put away. Stop making fun of the fat person. It's immature. It's stupid. And it just makes you sound like an ass. The internet can be horrible for sure. The internet can be wonderful. It's true. I mean, I've gotten support from the internet that I couldn't get anywhere else. I have no idea how I would handle my most recent MS relapse if it weren't for the internet. The internet has helped me through some great things. There's wonderful, supportive people on the internet. However, the internet is also a place where you get to be anonymous. And maybe that's what my thing is. I don't really get to be anonymous on the internet. Not that I'm famous, but, if I say something on the internet, it's going to be seen. And I got to watch what I say and what I do. And, I don't get to be anonymous like other people. I don't get to anonymously agree or disagree, So I feel like the internet can be wonderful, but the internet is also where the worst of people can come out too. The best and the worst, because they get to be anonymous. So, okay, I'm rambling. Well, as you get older, it's not just a fear of getting fat, it's a fear of developing disease caused by obesity. That is my motivator now, instead of just aesthetics. Well, I agree. Look, now that I'm older, I guess, now that my MS has progressed, I feel like I have motivations well beyond looking good in selfies to stay a healthy weight. And it has to do with with my mobility and my awareness that it's just easier to get around with less weight. And I get that. That's a good argument for yourself to stay a healthy weight. But that this is what I'm saying is this is a whole separate issue than the topic of fat shaming. The topic of fat shaming is okay, so you feel that way about getting fat. Who are you to shame a fat person for being fat? What are you? Are you that person? Are you, because a lot of times we say things, we have opinions when actually we make it about the other person. It's really about ourselves, because why else would they care? Why on earth would they care? Because they don't want to be fat themselves. Cool. So don't be fat. It sounds like you have great reasons to not be a fat person. Awesome. So how about you not shame a fat person? I'm not sitting here arguing it's okay to be fat. Fat is healthy. Look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not, saying none of that. What I am saying is that shaming a person for being fat is stupid and immature. That's all I'm saying. Um, yeah, it's a person's choice what they do with their body. Mrs. Angela said, and I agree. It's the person's choice. Look, I'm like a libertarian at heart. You do what you want to do. You do what you go and do. Um, and don't police that in any shape or form. Let's see. Yes, Matt the Vegan said YouTube literally saved my life. I love Matt because Matt and I agree on so many things, but I also feel like, yes, the internet has saved me. I don't mean to sit here taking a huge dump on the internet. It's not all bad. There's some wonderful things that have come from the internet. I'm not sure if I would be vegan right now if it weren't for the internet. I'm not sure if but what I do know is that there's a lot of mean people on the internet as well. People that are great at giving themselves excuses why it's a good idea to fat shame. Like they actually literally make videos about it. Like here's why being fat is unacceptable. And then they like go on these rants, and it's like who are you? Are you a doctor? Like what actual what if you shame someone, think about it. Humiliating someone has got to come from someone that's some way superior, someone that knows better, does better. You really think that you're that much better than a fat person that you can shame them on the internet? Like you actually think that you're like better than them to the extent that you're going to spend 10 minutes on a video talking about why being fat is wrong, because that's just you shaming the fat person about their being fat. And that's okay. The internet does have cool people. This is Ira saying this. The internet does have cool people like those guys who helped the bodybuilder forum troll get in shape. Well, I look. Some people claim that trolling someone, humiliating them, shaming them, will motivate them into changing their behavior. That's very noble of those people. How noble of you. See, I think it would be more effective if somebody had an interest in helping uh, the country get in better shape. I think it'd be more effective for that person to become a bodybuilder themselves instead of shaming and bullying a person into making changes. What they could do is help actually facilitate the change that they care about, or do they just care about making the person feel bad? Um, Matt the Vegan, how did you feel when you were featured on William's Beatdown? can I be honest? I didn't really think anything of that. That I can I be honest? I didn't even watch it. It's like I didn't. I'm sure it was funny. William's hilarious. I'm sure it was. Uh, it was probably funny. I'm not sure. I feel like Matt, you're not the first person to ask me that, and I just you asked for a story time here, but there's no story. To be honest, I didn't really watch it, and if I recall, it came out at a time that I was really not feeling YouTube, or I was not feeling the internet, because I've been having issues with the internet like this for um years. I've been feeling like I don't belong. I've been feeling like while I think that um the behavior of the fat phobic is this funny choice of words, but I think it's deplorable. I do. And but I also feel like people are very easy to offend on the internet to an extent that discussions like these don't happen. You know, what prompted this entire video was I saw a video that was basically, making fat people feel bad porn. I went on the video and I said something along the lines of why are you talking about this? Why is this necessary? Or something like that. And I got a string of comments making fun of how I look, my weight, and it's like discussions don't happen on the internet, and it really frustrates me. And by discussions, I mean talking to someone that you might not agree with and actually talking, not shutting down, being like, I'm not dealing with that, and then, and then, it's like the internet's so not real world. And yeah, when William's Beatdown came out, I was very focused on real world things, and that's what happened. That's my story time. Um, let's see. Shaming someone into doing something is a good way to get them to be defensive of themselves because you're attacking them. That's a good point, Lily. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Um, yeah, if you're in no position to be talking to me about my weight and you're talking to me about my weight, then yeah, I'm going to be defensive because who the hell are you? No, really. Like, who are you? Are you my doctor? Like, how do I know you? Do, do I, yeah. So, I mean, that's why the fat acceptance movement is, in my opinion, hella necessary because as long as there's people who shouldn't be talking about my weight, there's going to be people over here being like, I'm not offended. In fact, I'm not offended to the point that I'm going to post a picture of myself in my bikini. And that's just going to keep happening. Um, um, Angela Nicole says, yeah, because unfortunately, most of the people commenting are 13-year-old unsupervised children who say horrible shit. I mean, but then you also have, because that is a lot of YouTube, a lot of the internet, you also have a lot of creators um, that need to make content for these people. So you have creators like adult ass people making videos about uh, fat people and about fat and how being fat is wrong and fat shaming and going on about fat people that are adults. Okay, Ira says, I like Reddit better. Some subreddits are actually nice. I actually did find one nice subreddit. I found, and my friend Leisha, ex Barkage on YouTube, she, oh, Varush asked me, where's the live stream? Is this not live? Nah, because there's people chatting. Um, anyway, she pointed me out to a subreddit that was very kind. It was it's like a before and after photos subreddit, and it was very positive though. And I posted a before and after photo on there like last year or something, and the comments were overwhelmingly positive, but there was always some jerk that's like still fat shaming, like still reminding me that I'm not a size two. I don't know. Like fat shamer is gonna fat shame, even if somebody that's posted a photo because they've lost like well over 100 pounds, post a photo, they still gotta shame. Shamer's gonna shame. I think that's what I'm getting at. Shamer's gonna shame, and that's why the fat acceptance movement is kind of necessary to remind the shamers that they're ineffective and they're annoying. Because annoying like a there you are, Rouge. You found it. I don't know why you. I feel like maybe this might be different. I did play arounds with the bit rate, the whatever frames per second. I guess I was playing around with that before the stream, so I do hope this looks good, and hopefully it looks HD. Though I'm not really HD ready today. That's okay. Um, YouTube's comment section is pretty bad. I mean, so's Reddit. So's like I said, even in an overwhelmingly positive subreddit like I was in, which is basically a positivity. I wouldn't say positivity only, but it's like encouraging. Like it's an encouraging subreddit. There was still like a negative ass who has just got to fat shame and remind you that you used to be fat, that you are fat, that you're not done yet, that you're look. It's just very Baruch, I've kept it for now. I have okay, so I have this is I'm not streaming with my fancy camera yet, though. Um wait, you're not HD, you're streaming at 240. Um I don't know why. Well, hold on. Can I adjust the output here? I don't know. It'll probably be HD when this is up and posted and on YouTube. It should be streaming at like 1080 right now. So there is overwhelmingly positive things about the internet, but I don't feel like the internet is a good place to stay, like a good place to hang out. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Because there's just a lot of negativity on the internet, and it's not a helpful place to be for someone like me who's trying to find and latch onto anything positive because I don't know, the I've been so turned off by politics, by the news, by you know, and it's like people that I watch for information all of a sudden opining about the fat acceptance movement, and it's just all very divisive, I guess is the word. It pits one group of people against the other, and like I was saying before about Daily Justine's one and only, I do have an agenda, and that is let's stay together. We work together. If we stay together, kind of, you know, I don't like the divisiveness. I don't like Team A or Team B. I think it's ineffective. And the fat acceptance movement is just a part of that. It's a part of it. It's further dividing people, and it's a shame. And it because yeah, Matt can hang. Yeah, Matt can hang out. He's like one of the me and Matt have talked about this. He's like a sane vegan on YouTube, and that'll be a rant for another day. The vegan community on YouTube. Though there's positive vegan YouTubers too. They just aren't popular, I guess. Oh god, oh my god. People will always, that's a good thing to close with, the lilac ghost, thank you. People will always find a reason to criticize you. If you're not being criticized, then you're not um then you're not making an impact. You're not doing anything important if you're not being criticized. I mean, it's how it is. It's 10:32, so I'm going to conclude this. Thank you guys so much for coming to Daily Justine Live. If you have an idea for topics for future broadcasts, leave a comment in the YouTube for this below. And hopefully, I gotta mess around with the FPS, the why this isn't streaming HD right now. So, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye bye.